Okay, here we are back in Sentinels, the Multiverse, and I hate to break it to you folks, this is so fitting, but we are out of time. Tachyon shook the sand from her hair and collected herself after the tumultuous journey through the time portal. I swear, I will never get used to that, she grumbled. Pars paid no attention. She was scanning the configuration of the pre-dawn sky. It is 1883. We are early. The doctor is not yet here. Nightmist frowned and pondered. This is heavy. Omnitron X is already running a diagnostic. Temporal coordinates corrupted. Cause unknown. Calculating course correction. Knife interrupted. Forget it. I can smell a scoundrel. Time for a Barney. I don't know what exactly that's all supposed to mean, but whatever. So anyway, this one-shot requires Mini Pack 1 for Silver Gulch, Infernal Relics for Nightmist, Shattered Timelines for Omnitron, Wrath of the Cosmos for Deadline, and Vengeance for Pars and Knife. Wow, so I think this requires a little bit of everything other than Vengeance. Oh no, Vengeance right there. Not Vengeance, Villains of the Multiverse, that's what it is. So yeah, Ultimate, Deadline. To be honest, I was actually thinking about this earlier, that I don't know if I did Deadline for his Ultimate thing. He's kind of unique in that there's a few different ways to deal with him. And, well, we're out of time, so without further ado, let's jump right in. And I have my settings way too loud for me. It is with great regret that I destroy your civilization, humans. It is the only way. Hang on a second, I need a quick bite to eat. Okay, stop to bank robbery on my way back, and what were you saying? So just imagine, if there were another way, Deadline could maybe join us as a hero. Maybe someday. So if you don't know how Deadline works, because despite being like a decent villain, he's just underused by a lot of people, I think. And part of it's his deck, I'll get to that in a second. So if there are three or more catastrophe cards in his field at the end of his turn, he will flip, otherwise he will play an additional card. So he will basically play 2 cards per turn, I believe. When a catastrophe card is destroyed, Deadline deals each hero target 3 infernal damage, and then on challenge mode he has the Endling Worksmanship, where his devices cannot be destroyed. So when he goes to his flip side, he will destroy all the environment cards in play. Then the trash gets shuffled into the deck and consequently vaporized. The catastrophe cards are all destroyed, and he deals damage based off of the number that were destroyed, and this is the form of irreducible fire damage, and then he'll remove an equal number of environment cards from the game. And then if the environment deck ever runs out, it's game over. Deadline has obliterated whoever the hell he is. Now in advanced mode here, he will cause the characters to deal themselves 1 psychic damage whenever he pops an environment card. This is important if you're going to use the critical multiplier, because you'll hit yourself harder as a result. Now the next thing I need to get to you, fire damage, psychic damage, and on advanced mode when stuff gets destroyed he deals infernal damage. There's melee damage that comes out here and there. That's actually energy damage, so that complicates things even further, but then there's projectile damage here. So I'm getting at, actually there's projectile damage, or melee damage, no that's projectile. I thought one of these guys actually hit you, maybe it's a cactus. So what I'm getting at is there's no coding for Omnitron that's a cure-all. As a result, you just want to try to limit the damage he takes rather than put a certain code out. Anyway, let's start. Atomic Enclave. It is not my way to wield the weapons of war, but it is the only way. Unnatural disaster. This turmoil is too great. I will pay for my transgressions, but what's done is done. So that'll cause him to bring out Hero -1 in catastrophe cards. So I think he's pulling 1 of each. No, he pulled 2 subductions. So he'll immediately flip. He will subsequently destroy these. He'll hit everyone for fire damage equal to the number of destroyed cards. Then the Enclave goes off, and he went ahead and destroyed 4 cards from the environment deck. So Cyrus Hayes, Matthew Hayes, the Prickly Cactus, and Stain the Portal are all gone. So if you're wondering why I said he is underused, he has the most simplistic deck out of any character in the game. And that you could argue that's a good thing or a bad thing, but the fact of the matter is he has 4 copies of each of his catastrophe cards. The ones that are less are the ones that he destroyed already, because let's see. 2 subduction, 1 Urogenesis, 1 pull shift, so actually some of these he has 3 of, it looks like. 4 of that one, 3, 4, and so on, but anyway. Otherwise, he has his devices and then a one-shot to bring these out even faster. So he's quite possibly the most one-dimensional of all the villains. So hopefully he can do a little bit better when he decides to change sides. And real quick, since we're doing it. Humans, you consider me your enemy, but I am your last hope. The suffering I bring to your world is a mere fraction of what I seek to prevent. We're getting reports that a mountain has sprung up downtown. I can't believe what I'm hearing. As for us, whenever I feel like slowing down, I speed up instead. True story. And then we will go ahead and blitz him. So I don't think I've shown her foil card in-game yet, but we'll hit him for 1 point of damage. In case you're wondering, you're not going to be able to do anything fancy with her. This is probably her worst variant to use against him because the Unleashed Hurricane... yeah. No, it's not that one. It's right here, Severed Lightline. So this one causes everyone to shuffle their trash into their deck, and as a result, you'll never get to use her Blitz or her Light Speed Barrage. But anyway, as I was saying, there's no real good coat, so we're going to use the technological advancement. It reversed the polarity of the latest anti-neutrino field and recalibrated its alignment with a recursive algorithm. It's really quite simple. To bring out the electro deployment unit. Yeah, I can make stuff, but that shoulder unit is adores. So that's how Unity speaks, I guess. So we're going to bring this out to speed up our play. We get some flechettes. You can use that to destroy his ongoings, but keep in mind he will lash out. Although I guess if he had anything out here because the environment caused him to play stuff or something, by all means you should be free to destroy it then. It's just that his devices are indestructible. Anyway, we're going to use our power on ourselves. We will reset. Reloading core memory files, cycling primary servos, initializing startup subroutines. That gave us a self-sabotage. We may use that later, but in the meantime we will reset once again. And then there's no penalty to using these as is, because, like I showed you, the one card will just shuffle these back into his deck, so you're basically using these just for an extra card draw. We will put the subroutine into play. What trickery is this? That way, if we actually did put a code out, we could do stuff. And there's the other electro deployment unit, which I can play next turn. For parse, we're going to use the crit multi. That way, whenever we discard something, what you want to do with her fugue state, so that way you can use her power more often, the other half of it, you would get a little bit of a damage boost. So adjustments here and there, they add up. And then we're going to use her power. So we play the bottom card of her deck, which is Update Intel. We draw Data Mining, and we can just recompile next turn for a bunch of damage. For Nightmist, this is a whole bunch of nothing. So Scouring Mists would help if he had a lot of monsters or something out here, but even then, you can't destroy anything other than himself, so you never want to play this card. Planar Banishment can help if you want to destroy his stuff, but his stuff being his ongoings, that is. Oblivion is the same thing as Scouring Mist, you're not going to use either one of those, and you could call forth, but I'm just going to double skip. So we draw another Scouring Mist, and another Scouring Mist. So those are a bunch of worthless cards, but I can throw those away later. I have a feeling Nightmist is going to be pretending she's the Silver Surfer in Infinity Gauntlet, and I don't mean the movie. As for Knife, we're going to play the Kinetic Neutralizer so she deals more damage. You want to dance? Pure Dead Brilliant. And is that supposed to be Apostate? Kind of looks like him. Then we're going to use her base power, the Energy Lance, to deal 3 points of damage. So we're 5% of the way there, I think. Tyler Hayes has come out. He's going to shoot everything for 2, including the heroes. So keep in mind that's only 2 points of damage to Omnitron. His electro deployment unit is safe. So out comes the Severed Leyline. So we want to put Parse's card, the Impossible Shot, on top of her deck. He'll play the top card of the villain deck, calculate Orogenesis, so we want to mess with Silver Gulch here. If you don't know, this causes the environment to lash out at you, and play the top card of the environment deck. Anyway, Silver Gulch. So we're going to put out Sustain in the portal. We can use that to discard an environment card. As for the highest HP, you want to hit Nightmist because she can heal. So he's going to flip here. We can use the Hypersonic Assault to buy us one turn. This will also hit Tyler Hayes, so we don't have to worry about him hitting us either. And it's also going to bind the Atomic Enclave. And now that I think about it, I stopped reading the cards. Oh wait, I read that one. Haha, the giant of a man roared as he fired his oversized Gatling gun. I'm gonna shoot all you idiots and then I'm gonna drink all the whiskey. Ha ha ha. As for what we did... Stand down! But that's just a one-shot, so we cannot blitz him any harder. Another Synaptic. So we want to play the other Electro Deployment Unit, then we will draw a card. That gave us Rocket Punch. So when you're playing on the harder difficulties, this is pretty much a damage race. As a result, we're going to turn Omnitron into the boxing robot here. So I just read that one out. I read that one. Oh, she said adorbs. Yeah, that's not really any better. Haha! That robot just shot its arm off! I'm glad Haka finds it so amusing. But I guess better to shoot his arm off than his mouth off, right? Shoot the Gaussian Coil Blast, we can play that next turn and start shooting. As for parse, time to recompile. So I'm going to throw away all these cards. You could hold on to Dane. We're going to give this to Knife because she's the most reliable source of damage. You could hold on to Dynamiting if you want. That would help you clear out the environment a little bit. But, yeah. I'm not. It would also help you get rid of his ongoings if you're so inclined. I'd rather get the cards. So that's 3 points of damage over to Knife. On her next attack, we draw the Impossible Shot, another targeting arrow, another Dynamiting. Wait, what did I throw away? Okay, that was between the lines, not targeting arrow. I knew I had something, but yeah. Anyway, we are going to use her power, Neural Processing, which was actually the targeting arrow. So we'll hit him, now everyone deals more damage. We want Knife to make the play here, since she's most likely to deal damage, and it's Wrecking Uppercut for 8 damage due to the Neutralizer, the Crit Multi, and the targeting arrow. So we've knocked him down to 75% health. Drew a Snap Decision. That works really well with her playing the whole bottom card thing, as long as you don't run out of cards in the process. Anyway, we now have a 4 in our hand, so we can use Call Forth to bring out 4 cards. That's pretty much the only use for the Scouring Mist I'm going to get. And there's our amulet. So, what I'm fishing for is Mistbound. It's time to investigate. Drew a Heedless Lash and Oblivion, and there's Mistbound. So now we can stop him cold. So right here we're going to use Amplified Combatant because we can hit him twice, and I haven't been reading these, have I? So recompile. Hold on just a tick, that's a lot to process. Okay, got it all. Some sort of screech? What have you done? Good, now 5 centimeters to the left, perfect, hit it. There, run to the center, it's now or never. And that's probably the coolest Captain Cosmic we'll ever see. As for Nightmist, we called forth. I hear your summons. I come to both impart and exact the tone. And she's up against Mangrove, I think it is. That's one of the nemesis from Villains. And Scouring Mists, you have not yet faced true terror. We used the Wrecking Uppercut already. Enough with the Train Havern, alright? She's punching out Fright Train, another villain. But otherwise, we're going to do the Amplified Combatant. Since this attacks twice, we'll get extra effect from the Kinetic Neutralizer as well as the targeting arrow. Ah, you're awful. At least Phelan means you're playing. So right there, we hit him for 6. We're going to hit the Enclave. And if you remember how the Orogenesis works, we're going to leave Tyler alone. Actually, hold on. Oh, top card's played, so never mind. I was thinking if Tyler was going to attack, we could use the Hypersonic Assault to neutralize it. Yeah, I misread that. Anyway, Energy Lance. Hit him for 4 more. So now he's down to 63%. Sustain the portal. We're going to have Tachyon discard her Sucker Punch. Hypersonic Assault stopped Tyler cold, and the card that was discarded was the Explosives Wagon, so that's going to be less damage we take. Here, order doesn't matter. He takes 3 because of the targeting arrow. So this doesn't matter. Everyone's going to shuffle, so that Sucker Punch does go away before I can blitz it into play. Water Trough, that's going to be what attacks us. It's only 2 points of melee, luckily, so Omnitron's components are safe. Unnatural Disaster, he's going to play 4. Yes, 4 ongoings here. So he's going to just nuke the environment deck right here. I'm not going to mess with this anymore. You could peek and see if there's anything you want. Just keep in mind that's one of those cards that's supposed to combo with Fugue State Parse. So he's going to destroy those. When he does, we deal ourselves psychic damage. That's why we didn't want Parse to make the discard, otherwise someone would hit themselves for 2. If I had the temporal coating with the Omnitron, that wouldn't be a big deal. So he's going to destroy all these, but the good news is, while his damage is irreducible, it's already been prevented. So there's only 5 cards left in the deck here. 2 Explosive Wagons, the Sheriff, the Stout Barrel, and the Water Trough. So let's use a Nimble Strike because I need cards. So we can hit him for 2. I draw a Fleet of Foot. And now we want to use Blitz here, hit him for 2, and then we are going to put the Nimble Strike at the very bottom of our deck so we can Blitz again. And we're starting to deal some damage there. It's just we need Omnitron to start picking up. So I wish to draw a card. Another Rocket Punch. We want to play the Gaussian so he can lash out here. And I want to make a point of making sure you keep hitting the Englaive because Knife deals her bonus damage to the guy with the most HP. If you ignore this, it can eventually become this and you lose your damage amplification, so you want to knock this down as low as possible to prevent that from happening. Anyway, we are trying to maximize our damage while the targeting arrow is in effect, so we're going to play our Flechettes. We're not actually going to destroy anything. That knocks this down to 0, so Knife should have it unless he plays another one of his devices. And to keep maximizing that... I forgot, damn it. Ah, it's in my deck now. So, Nimble Strike. Ha, take that, don't worry, there's more. Then I played this. Error. Damage sustained. Damage origin impossible. Manipulation of chemical triggers can neutralize organic and inorganic targets. So we're going to hit him here to maximize the targeting arrow. There we go. Omnitron kind of made up for earlier. His little slow start, I guess. So I want to play a card here. As a result, we're going to use the Syntactic Analysis. I'm going to discard one thing here no matter what it is. Parse. So we're going to discard the Segmentation Fault. And we're going to play the Targeting Arrow. Now since I discarded something, it was not from hand, so Critical Multiplier doesn't get to go off. But I will be able to use her Neural Processing. Here's the situation. You know what to do. So she has... Where's Wraith? Oh, right, there's Wraith. Okay, so that makes sense. So these are supposed to be the Vengeance crew. Only a few clicks away, shouldn't be too much of a problem. I think it goes without saying, you're fired. So we're going to play our bottom card, which is another Impossible Shot. I have one in my hand. Drew a Crit Multi. And we'll give this to Knife. Try to amplify her damage more. Hey, the Conduit Blade. So right here, it's Silver Surfer time. We're going to play Mistbound and discard our Oblivions. And he's bound. So right here, I'm just going to stop because he's dead. I'm not going to knock her down below double-digit health. So, once again, we want to use the Amplified Combatant here. This is because it'll deal more damage this time around, as well as the whole Targeting Arrow plus Kinetic Neutralizer. This is the melee hit, so this doesn't get amplified further. This one does. And then, if you want, you can smack this around. It has it coming. And now if you want to destroy this, you could. It's just, I can use an incidental contact if he survives all the way until next round. It's just not too likely. He's below 25% HP right now. Another explosives wagon. So the good news is with him bound, only the Englaive can attack. And that's gonna hit Parse, because she has it coming. So we're gonna use Fleet of Foot. Everyone draws a card. We drew Blinding Speed. So we're gonna do something that's probably a little counterintuitive. We're gonna play the Blinding Speed. And we're gonna destroy Synaptic Interruption. So if you're wondering why, let's Blitz. Now we'll put the Fleet of Foot back in our deck. Now we'll put that Blinding Speed I just played. Now we'll put the Synaptic. And he has 5 hit points. He is not surviving Omnitron's turn. So there's a few different things I can do here. Let's draw. Draw. Oh, now I get the component. And we'll just knock this further into the ground. Hit the barrel. That is one stout barrel, what can I say? So it's up to you, you can self-sabotage if you want. The survival of the living far outweighs the existence of one. You can play your focused plasma cannon. Superheated plasma has many industrial applications. This is not one of them. But we'll just punch him out. So we'll put out the defensive blast, we never got our coat. And lights out. So everyone has double-digit hit points. So that's pretty much 4 in a row I've done again. But next week is the start of the new schedule, and we'll see what happens as a result of that. But otherwise, that's it. We were out of time. I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.